See, if you see at the database level, we'll connect to some other system which is already connected. See, if you see at the database level, you see database in the same table, all the entries are there for all the 200 entries there, 100, triple zero entry. Everything is there in the same table. Only the USR 02 table, but at the SAP level, you see for a 200 client, you see only the data related to the 200. Similarly, for triple zero, you see data only related to the triple zero client. So just this is how this is why I told it's like an individual business entity. You don't see the data in some other client. You were asking what data? You were asking something related to data copy. What is it?
No, I'm asking that we have created the 300 client and we have also performed a copy operation on
No,
that. So,
I'm not copied. I just showed you how to copy. I didn't execute it.
okay.
Because it will take time and it will use the database space.
Okay.
Since this customer system, we shouldn't create it. With this entry, I can delete it. So once this client is, this is for how you do a client creation. So if you want some point, if you have created for training purpose, you created like 2-3 clients and you think, okay, I don't want this client anymore. So what we can do is we can delete the client. For deleting a client, there's a T code called SCC 3 CC. Can export. Got the T code. CC.
That's an SCC file.
Okay. SCC. Here, if I want to, I log into this 000 client. I execute this T code SCC file. And then I'll choose whichever client I want to delete it. So I also when I delete the client, it will only delete the contents. This entry which we created manually, right? That will not be that also. If you want, we can choose to delete. One more night, I think. In parallel, the coach Forge, they are installing some software on my laptop. Just me. Okay, Here I can choose just after creating client. If I want to delete this entry also, I can choose delete entry from T000. I'll just starting it immediately. So I'm deleting 300 client which we created it recently. You can choose which you want to delete. Okay, let it run. Maybe I think.
Okay. Meanwhile, Hasan,
Yeah. Yeah.
that SCCL, it is a ticket for copying the content from one client to another, right?
Yes.
And for creating, we have to go to option edit, and then we have to create a new a new client for creating a client.
Yes. You have to go to SCC4. Here go to edit mode and add a new
SCC4.
entry. Yep.
Okay. SCC.
Okay. This is what the client concept is. Compare. Delete and client compare. Yes. And there we can like here we can see like if you are creating in this SCC3 T code, if you are creating any new client or copying a client or deleting a client, here you can see the progress of that SCC3. Now if you see, now it is in processing state, this 300 client. The deletion is in progress. So you see this here. So you can see the progress here. Now delete option is there. It's in progress. So this is, you can see the progress in SCC3. And there is one more thing code. Since you ask about the client copy, this SCCL T code is that is a local client copy. Means I copy the client from this ES1 system itself to the from a 000 client or a different client to a new client. There is also an option. I can copy the client from a different system, totally different system. This is ES1 system, but I can even copy a client from a different system. Like this is a sandbox system I told, right? Assume I want to create a testing environment in this sandbox system. So I'll create a new client. Just in T000, I'll create an entry, but the data, I want some production data just for because end user wants to do training with the real kind of real data. So a production system I cannot touch. So I can copy the data from production to here. So that what I can do is I can give some source system. So I want to copy. I can here. There is something called a RFC destination. I create a connection to a different system, and I give the connection name. So from a different system also, I can copy the client data. The only constraint is you cannot copy from any system to any system. If I'm copying from ES1 system, from a different DSM system, it should be having the same, the software versions and all should be the exact match. Whatever software, whatever component is installed, everything should be exact match. Then only I can copy the client from a system to a different system. So this SCC9 is for a remote client copy. It's called this. For SCCL is a local client copy within the same system. This one is a remote client copy. Okay, this is the concept of client. I think still it is running at this run. I will check later. Okay. So apart from this client, this is the concept of clients. Okay, then we'll go to this next one. Background processing. Okay. So I'll take this example itself for you to start with the background processing. See, when I chose the client delete, here I got two options, right? When I want to execute it, one is start immediately and one is in background. The reason is if there is if I know my process is going to take a long time, okay, like more than like it's going to take 1 hour, 2 hours, then I shouldn't be running this on immediately. If I do it on a start immediately, what happens is this process will run using a dialog work process. See, I logged in as coach admin user. So this client deletion is currently running. Okay, SAP, I think I logged in as SAP. Sorry, I logged in as SAP star into 000. So it's doing some client deletion, but it is running on a dialog process. So this shouldn't happen. Okay, usually we shouldn't be doing it on a dialog because it's what happens is this dialog work process after like 10 minutes or so, it will time out. This is dialog work process is for live transactions. You should run it only dialog. For a long running process, if I know if it's going to run for a long time or something, I shouldn't run it on a dialog. I'm canceling it. I think I cannot cancel it. What I should do is I should schedule it in a background. Background means, so now this is cancelled. Okay. Now this is cancelled. Background means when a process runs in a background, there is no need for me to be logged into the system. If when I run it in a dialog, I should be logged into the system, or else it will time out and the process will cancel. Or if there is a auto logout period, it will log out of the session. So these if there is something for a long running transaction, I have to schedule it in a background. So if I schedule it in a background, immediately schedule job. Same thing I'm scheduling in a background. So background job is successfully scheduled. Now I can log off from the system as well. There is no need for me to be logged into the system, or there will not be any problem of timing out or so if I see now, the same process will be running in a BTC work process. SAP star. Okay, this process will be, when I schedule it in the background, the batch, it will be run by a batch work process. For a long running process should be run on a background. Let me log off from everything. Okay. Okay. I think still I logged into 000. Okay. Okay, so this is the concept of a background, running it in a background and running it in dialogue. Also, the need for a what is the if we want to run something on a schedule, like let me assume there will be some repetitive process, right? Something like what happens is after business, assume shop is open from 9 to 6. By 6 o'clock, they're closing the business. After 6, they want to do some reconciliation. They want to see how much business they have done, how much goods they have moved. They want to take everything as a report. They want to see it in a report. So those things, for pulling out the report, it might take some time. It might run for this like 1 hour or 2 hours for pulling that report. It's because it has to collect data from the entire day and consolidate it and give it as a report. So it will take like 2-3 hours. So those kind of things will be done using a background processing. I assume this. I want to do this process daily. Maybe this report should be generated daily at 7 o'clock. So what one option is daily I can log into the system at 7 o'clock, go through the series of steps and execute this report. So this I have to do it on a daily basis. Other option is I can schedule it. Scheduling it means I define, so this is the process I want to do it daily at 7 o'clock. So what, and I can forget about it. So every day without you even logging into the system, when the time comes, if I schedule it at 7 o'clock, the system automatically will trigger that process and run that process and it will generate that report. This is the concept of background processing. Mainly for it is for long running transactions and regular scheduled transactions. So how I create let me, I don't know, I'm just thinking which example to take, how to schedule a job. Okay.
And the transaction which you have done from background process for the BTC work process,
Yeah.
why it is showing the on hold?
Because it's waiting for something. I think this process which I killed, right, stopped, right, this deletion. It didn't stop properly. I think so. It's not able to this one process anything. Because which I ran, this process I ran and I cancelled it midway, right? Still it's doing something.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that's
yes.
the reason it's not able to get a log or it's waiting for something. It didn't cancel properly. It's still running in the background. I have to cancel it manually. Let it be. I'll check this later. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the concept of background. So how I'm just thinking which example to show. In how I schedule a job is in SAP. There is something called reports. Report is nothing like a program. C, you write a program, right? C++ program or C++. You write a program, right, to do a series of steps. In SAP is also there are a lot of programs are there. In SAP we call it as a program or report. So there are a lot of there'll be thousands and thousands of programs in SAP for it to run. For each process, if I run this T code, maybe if I'm running this SU01 T code, what it does it in the background, it will run a report for this T code. How you can see it, if you go to system status, here you can see which report it has run. So when I execute this T code, it is running this program in the background. Similarly, if I run a different T code, SC16 T code, or I'm just running some W11 T code. This is a T code. In the background, what this T code does is it will go and execute this. It has run this report in the background. So I'll take this example. Okay, this T code, what it does it will delete some old entries. IDOC is something like just forget what is IDOC is now. Assume this will this T code will clear some old entries for me. Like I don't want to have like older. I want to delete some data older than 1 year or so. So this table does it for me. So I can choose like if I want to delete some data which was created something before 2017. In June and July of 2017, I don't want the data from the system. What I can do is when I delete it, if I run it and execute, it will run in dialog. So if I assume I don't want to do it now, so I want to do it maybe in a background, or I want to schedule this maybe today night. I don't want to run it now. I want to do it something. So what I do is I go to program, I'll choose execute in background. Now it will okay. Now it will ask when you want to execute it. Do you want to execute it immediately, or I want to choose some time? So I can choose I want to execute it this time. I can choose. Maybe I want to run this tomorrow. I don't want to run it today. I want to run it tomorrow at this particular time. Something I can choose. Something I want to run it on this day at this time. When I click save, it will schedule the job. Okay, it will schedule that job. Here I can also choose something called a periodic job. If I want to run the same thing daily on a daily basis, if I want to do the same process, it should run daily. Then I'll choose a periodic job. Means I can schedule like when I want to run, how much period. So after I click a periodic job, when I click periodic values, here I can choose. So if I want this to run every 1 hour or daily or weekly once or monthly once, something I can choose. Or if I want to, if I click hourly, it will run every hour, daily, something here we can choose. So it should be a daily job, hourly job, weekly job, something in there we can choose. If I want to choose a different period, I choose different period. Here I can choose like I want to run every 2 days, or if I want to run every 3 days, or if I want to run every 20 minutes. This I can choose. I'm just taking out a bit. See this I'm scheduling for maybe, or let's see what's the time now. I'm just canceling it. This report, how I see this will in background, this will call this report. Okay, I'm just copying it for you to show. So once I schedule it, I can monitor this in SM37. I can monitor this job in SM37. I'll explain this SM37 later. Now I'm just showing there'll be nothing there. We execute, everything will be blank. Nothing is there, no job. So once I go here now, I created an input criteria. I'm scheduling something in this background, executed background. So what is the system time now? Now it is 2:48. Let's schedule this job for 2:50. So program execute in background. I'm scheduling it for like 2:50. Today 2:50. Let me schedule time. I'll schedule it for 2:50. Okay. I'm saving it. Start date is in the past. I think the time has crossed, like I'm scheduled for 1:52. Or I think because of the time zone. Okay. System time is now 2:49. I think the logon is using CST different time zone and system is using a different time zone. That's the reason. So now the system time is 2:49. So I'll schedule it at maybe for 2:51. 2:51. It will say the job is scheduled for this program. So if I want to monitor this, so I can now log off. If I want to monitor this job, whether it's running or not, I have to go to this SM37 transaction. Here I give this report name, and if I click execute, it is say it is released and waiting. If I go and double click this and I click job details, I can it will tell when it is planned to start. It is planned to start at 2:51. So it will be in release date. So let's keep refreshing it. Now what's the system time? So it is 2:50:42. Okay, like let's give like 1 more minute. So now if you see the job is active, now the job was started. Now it is active and it got completed.
Yes.
So this I took an example for a very small process. This completed within like 4 seconds. But usually when a long running process will be scheduled in background, like it could be run for like in production system. If we see some process will be running even for 1 or 2 days. So those user cannot keep log into every day at this particular time and run that. So they will be scheduling it to run at automatic intervals, and it will automatically run in the defined period. So this is how you define a batch job. And there's one more T code. There's a T code called SM36. This here I showed you. I went to this T code itself and directly ran execute in background. But there is a T code specifically for this to schedule background job. This is called SM36. This is the background scheduler job. Here, here when I ran this report, I didn't have an option to choose the background job name and all. By default, it chose this. It started running with this report name. The same thing what I can do is I can define a job name, something like Z test job. I create a job name. Here I go and define the steps, which here which program I want to run. I'll give this program name RS E test TD. Okay. And variant is something called you give this input, you give some, I chose this date, right? Whatever date, whatever filter criteria I did, what I can do is I can save this filter criteria as a variant. That is called, because you have to give some input for the program, right? For the system to run. So that we give that input as a variant. So I don't think there will be any default. I'll just, I'm saving this as a variant. I'll show you program, maybe go to variant. I'm saving this as a variant. Z training. whatever input I gave, so I'm saving it as a variant. So I give that variant name here. So I think I have to go back and come again. I give some test job. I give the program name from him and get it from here. This is a variant I created. I select that variant, get check, then I'm saving it. So I have defined it. Now, so I just defined I given what program it should run, what variant it should run. Then I have to define a start condition when I have to start this job. Go to start condition. Here I choose if I want to run it immediately or if I want to schedule something. I want to schedule it at a particular time. Again, I'm choosing like today's date. What's the system time now? We'll choose. Now it is 2:55. Maybe I'll schedule for 2:56. Oh, sorry. So I schedule it. Now if I want, I have to use this job name. I can go and monitor. I go to SM37, I can monitor the jobs. Give the job name and see. That's it. Okay, I forgot to save. If you see, you can see this job name. It will be still waiting for release. Whenever the time comes, it will start running. So SM36 is you define a job, and SM37 is where you go and monitor the job. Okay, and well, coming to the again within this job, let's see what all we can choose. Here we saw a simple thing. I chose a program, and one is I selected it. So one is we can choose a periodic job. There are other options as well. Here I can choose after a job. After job means like if I have a process. So like I have a process. First I want to consolidate everything. Consolidate. Then after this consolidation, I will create a report. So what I will do is this creating a report should happen only after this consolidation is completed. So maybe I start this job at 7 p.m. So this I don't know how much time it's going to take. Some days it will take 2 hours. Some days it takes 3 hours. Some days it takes 5 hours. So I don't know when. So after this job, if I know this job, this is going to take only like 30 minutes. I'm sure it will not run for more than 30 minutes. Then I can confidently go and schedule it at 8 p.m. But if I don't know this job, how long it's going to take, sometimes it takes 5 hours. Sometimes it takes 6 hours. So or sometimes this report. This report should run only after this completes and if it's successful. So that in that case, I will define like this job should start only after this consolidation job has this report job should run only after this consolidated job is completed. So this I can define after a job. So start status dependent. We choose means only if this job completes, then immediately after the completion, this reporting job will run. So that is one option. or after event is something I can define an event. Something like external processes trigger. From an external process, I can trigger an event in SAP. From using an external command, even if a third-party system can trigger an event here. So if that event is triggered, then this job will trigger. Or operation. So these are the different options you can for defining a job for a start condition. So within a job, I can earlier I showed we gave a program name and a variant. This can be as also different. I can even use this to call a external command or external program. These are other options. Just have a overview, like it can even call an OS level command. Something yesterday we defined, right? If it has to go and call a OS level command, we can define it here. This job should go and call a OS level command. Something that also can be scheduled regularly. If you want to run some OS level commands, we can do it from SAP as well. So these are the other options available which we can define. So this is about the background job. Any doubts so far?
No, no doubts, but a lot of confusion. But
Yeah.
after going through all the stuff once again, I think it will get clear.
Yeah, just I think if you go through the some documentation, I'll see today. I'll ask Kamal to some way to get at least one VPN session for you to get training.
Okay.
Okay. We discuss for today's. I think just go through about this client and background processing. We'll in the evening we can discuss, and maybe we can have again a demo session or something in the evening. By that time I'll see if we can get some something for you to practice. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.